What's up, everyone? I finally got the motor ordered for the 370Z, and I finally finished up the Airbnb glamping tent. There's some people down there this weekend, but I will show you that at some point in the future. I've also been working on creating content for my financial coaching page, where I talk about investing and swing trading stocks. So if you want to check something out like that and you're interested in that, you can follow me at mindofthefinancier on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I'll leave links down in the description below. But today, I want to get the 370Z ready to put the new motor in it when it arrives. I've got some work to do on some brackets and the intercooler to get those straightened out. Then I want to get this thing into the garage and pull the motor out of it. Hopefully today or this weekend. We'll see how long that takes. But first, like I said, I've got some work to do on the intercooler and some brackets. As you can see here on the intercooler, as I mentioned in some of my previous videos, this bracket is bent, as well as some of those brackets. So I'm gonna work on starting to get those straightened out now. Alright guys, got the car in here up on the lift, removing the power steering pump and the AC compressor. Just went underneath to undo a couple bolts and cut a couple wire ties, and this just fell down. A chunk of aluminum. So, that's not good. This block is probably ruined, most likely. So anyway, I'm gonna finish trying to get these things unhooked and then start dropping this motor down now. All right guys, I got the upper struts unbolted. I also unbolted the upper A-arm from the spindle, as well as took out the wheel speed sensors. I need to unhook the brake lines from the calipers, and I also loosened all the bolts on the subframe and transmission mount. So now all I need to do is support the subframe from the bottom. I plan on using this little cart I got from Home Depot with a couple blocks of wood that I can set this on and support the weight. And then I should be able to just lift the car up with the lift and drop the motor out of the bottom. I need to get some more wood before I can do that, and I'm getting ready to head to the gym. I've been pretty busy on some other projects at the moment, but hopefully I can get this motor out of here in the next day or two, and then I'll just be waiting on a new motor, which is supposed to be here next week. What's up guys? It's been about 5 days since I've had a chance to work on the car, but I wanted to show you this. Finally got the new motor yesterday. And I wanted to mention, whenever you order one of these, be sure to ask from the company you're buying this from if they are going to be able to drop this off at your house, if you're trying to get it delivered to your house. Because I asked the company, I told them my situation, where I live, and being off the road with about a 500-foot long driveway, I wanted to make sure that I could get this into the garage. They told me it'd be coming on a box truck and they would be able to deliver it right up into my driveway next to my garage, but that was not the case. It came on a semi, and being that I don't have a truck, I had to get the utility trailer out, put it on my car, have them loaded into the utility trailer, and then use the engine stand to be able to pick it up off the trailer and get it into position here in my garage. So I am going to start getting this motor ready to put on the transmission. I've got basically all of the subframe bolts loosened up so that I can begin pulling this motor out. I need to disconnect the brake lines on the calipers, and maybe have a couple other things I need to disconnect so I can drop down the subframe with the transmission and disconnect the old motor from the transmission, get everything mounted up. I'm going to begin working on that now. So let's get started. Alright guys, just starting to take things apart here, just noticing a couple things. First off, the motor mount on the left hand side here is cracked, so I need to get that removed, but in order to remove that, I got to take off the header. Another thing is this came off of a all-wheel drive vehicle. They mentioned this to me. They said I was going to have to replace the upper and lower oil pan on this to fit the rear wheel drive. I wasn't sure why, but now I understand. I see that this has the front differential on it, and it must be part of the oil pan. I'm not quite sure yet, but that's some good news, because on my FX35 I've been hearing a whining sound like I've mentioned, and I've checked the wheel bearings. It doesn't seem to be those. So it could be the front differential. So I may have gotten lucky here and scored a free differential, but we'll have to see on that. I went ahead and removed the coolant hoses and the belt. The belt looked like it was in pretty bad shape. Another thing I noticed though is the power steering pump on the Z sets right here, and there's no power steering pump. They've got this idler pulley here, which makes no sense to me. How could this motor have had power steering and it's a modern car? I don't know. If you know the answer to that, drop a comment down below. Let me know. Another thing I'm seeing on this motor is there's a good bit of rust on a lot of these components. So I'm probably going to pull off the components that look better on the old motors, such as these coolant hoses. I haven't noticed any sort of real corrosion on the old motor, so I'll probably use those. Here in the back, we got some more rust and corrosion on these vacuum lines. So again, I'll probably use the old ones for that. And another thing I'm noticing, I'm not seeing the wire harness that was shown in the picture on almost all these motors that hook up to the ECU. So I'm not sure if I'm going to have to pull off the wiring harness off that car and take off a bunch of stuff to get all the wiring harness and clips and plugs all plugged back in. One other thing that strikes me as very odd is this harness, or this sensor down here. It's got this wiring harness that runs off, and it comes out, and it was laying over the top, and look at this. It's got a freaking AC plug on it. What the heck is this? I have never seen anything like this on a normal gasoline motor or Japanese. I know some diesels and stuff have like a way you can plug in to heat the block, but that makes no sense to me on this. So anyway, I'm going to continue tearing parts off this, getting it ready. And then I need to get it up off the pallet here and set out of position so I can get the car pulled down and go ahead and get the motor out of the car. What's up, guys? Finally back in the garage here today. It's been about a week since I had a chance to work on this, but I think I have everything disconnected to be able to drop the motor. So I am going to attempt to do that now. Well, there she is, boys. She's out. It's always more work than you think. I didn't realize I was going to have to remove the drive shaft. In order to do that, I had to remove the exhaust, which required me to remove this cross member here, as well as a heat shield. And there was some damage on the bottom of this. You can see this thing's been scraped up pretty well. It looks like this car has been almost bottomed out, possibly at some point. One of the bolts on this cross member was actually ground almost flat on the head, so I had a lot of difficulty getting that off. But we got everything out, and up next we'll be removing the transmission and then start disconnecting stuff off the motor to get ready to transfer it over to the new motor and clean up some of this other stuff. I want to clean everything under here real well while I'm in here. I'm going to clean up this cross member, throw some fresh paint on it, and just give everything a once over underneath here. There's a little bit of damage to some of these under panels, but nothing that I'm really going to fool with at this point. So like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and get everything cleaned up here, get ready to start taking this apart probably within the next couple of days. I've got plans this evening, but I would like to get all this cleaned up and get the new motor attached to the subframe this weekend. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and wrap up the video here, and I'll share with you all some more projects I'm working on. So if that sounds good to you, you know what to do. Hit the like, subscribe button, and stay tuned till next time. All right, guys, keep building that dream.